Okay, back episode 16. First of all, I want to apologize for how last week's episode went. So I filmed it and recorded it, but then Priska, who is my old executive assistant, she was sick. Her last day was on Monday as well. Normally she edits it all. She came back on Monday, she edited it on her last day, but she didn't upload it. Just a miscommunication thing between me and her, and I thought it was posted. But then I realized today when I went to record this one that it wasn't posted. So it's up now. I record it in real time, so it's just late. I'm kind of out of date, but oh well. Episode 16, Black Friday has just passed. We are now on Thursday. We've had a big week, so a few things happened. Like shirts got delivered, 7,000 tops. That was like 74 boxes. Super smooth, goods in process is really good now. Boxes are going to arrive tomorrow, so after like a box panic, I think we wouldn't get it in time a couple of weeks ago. They arrive tomorrow at 10:30, so that's 30,000 boxes, 28,000 from Fred at Lil Packaging, and that means all 5,000 orders I think we're on right now needs fulfilled will get done, and we'll get that done in a few days. The one big thing that happened this week was I went to Gary Neville's graduation ceremony at Queen's. I was invited by Queen's. Well, I wasn't originally, I don't think, or at least I didn't get the email. They invited my friend Jamie. He texted me about it. Was I going? And I said, I haven't got the invite. Checked all my inboxes, no invite. So I just messaged Queen's Carl there, and he was able to set it up. And then I was kind of asking cheekily, like, can I bring him a box again, like the first time? So I met him way back in February time, and that went better than I ever could have done. And he took a shine to, because I brought a box, and he took a shine to what I was saying, and he brought on the Stick to Football way back in February. So we already had kind of an existing relationship. And I said, is it cheeky to bring another one? And he said, go for it. So I brought another two. Actually, I brought another football one, and I brought a rugby one, because we've launched the rugby boxes now since I last met him. Brought him kind of like a wee poster to illustrate the effect that meeting him had on our business. Called it the Gary Neville effect. I showed the revenue lines, and I showed 3 new staff we've been able to hire. He really, really liked it. Like, it went down well. And he said to me, I'll open them again on the next podcast, which was really, really cool. And he has. Like, the podcast went up this morning. I was waiting, I was refreshing like 8 a.m. I was coming back up on the train from Dublin, which is another thing I'll get into. And when it came up, bam, went on. It's about 40 minutes in, it's got its whole segment, and it's really cool. Jill opens her box. She got the football one. She loved it. She put it on. Roy got the rugby one. He's like, what's this? In typical Roy's fashion, and he couldn't get his head around it. But it was really, really good. Like, good PR for the company. We actually, when he said it to me, so he said it to me when I meet him on Tuesday, I was like, oh shit. Because we'd already been pumping a lot of revenue on our Black Friday that we'd run into Christmas offer, the buy two, get one free. And so with that in mind, and with the fact that like Gary Neville was going to give us the shout out, we were like, right, let's get rid of that offer and let's just keep it our original. Cut the offer, we'll go back. The offer, the original, like our normal offer all year round, isn't as sexy. It's more profitable, and it's kind of, well, is it more profitable? That's for debate. It's less aggressive in terms of like conversion rates. We thought it would be better in terms of maintaining orders and stuff like that, but I think we're pushing a 20k day already today, and I'm recording this at, it's not even 6 o'clock. So yeah, it's been strong. The shine Gary took to the business, like he's so down to earth, and I really can't emphasize this enough. Like, he gives without asking, which is amazing. Very few people in society do that. And he's so humble for someone of his stature and status in society. Any criticism of the media and stuff like that by anybody, I think, is quite undeserving, because if they got to know the fellow, they'd like him. He is deserving of, like, the Vice Chancellor from Queen's, Sir Ian Greer, to my left, across the way, Nelson, I want to say is her surname. 130 caps for Northern Ireland. And we had like a good conversation about everything: politics, tickets for World Cup, football, just in general. So like it was good, and it was just down to earth. Like it was brilliant, to be fair. So we joked about maybe him investing, and now that's got me thinking, let's get the pitch deck ready and let's get it sent to him. Because if we can involve him long term, like obviously the profile and the money, if he did invest, would be a great help. But I think he said something important in his acceptance speech of the doctorate that Queen's gave him. He said, you know, it's important who you get on the team bus with for the journey. And I think that's got me thinking, should we start doing a raise in the new year? You know, bring on kind of that sports model where you have a few personalities and stuff like that in football. They take equity and they also sign up to like media obligations, because I think that's also a good way to like raise the profile of the brand and really take it to the next level, because we've got big plans we want to do for the next year. Like I've written out the goals and we're building it out into a brochure, so it's very easy for us to turn that into a pitch deck. I'd probably stay away from VCs and only do angels, because I think angels would give you the freedom to do what you want, which is ultimately what I want. I don't want to be constrained by a VC pushing me down like a very narrow lane. I don't want to do that. It's maybe something we'll do. I'm giving it serious thought now. And if anyone's got any thoughts or opinions, please get in touch, because it is a real thing for me. Like I think it would help us do the things we want to achieve, but I don't want to be constrained by them either, in terms of, especially with VCs, and quite forceful, which I don't want. And I think if you have more people on the journey, they can help you and they can open doors. And yes, the money's good, not like we need the money or anything like that, but I think it's the connections and stuff like that that just propel you forward. So yeah, anyway, let's fill on the rest of the week. So Erin started this week. That's my new assistant. She's great. She's doing really well. She's probably editing this, picking things up really quick. A few things still to iron out, and I think that will be like a relationship that builds in months and compounds when we basically figure out what each person values. But that's going well. One thing actually I want to mention on this that I do when anyone starts is just go for lunch with them. And why? Because when I'm on lunch with them, I try to like understand what goes on in their personal lives and they can understand my personal lives. And that way, when like shit does get tough, you're kind of more understanding of like why they're asking for this, or you know, just more understanding, and it builds trust and it builds a relationship that you need. And it makes you seem, I think, especially if it's like not in Erin's case, but in other cases when I'm not their direct line manager, it makes you seem more accessible, more open, which I think is a good thing. I did it when I did my work placement. This was many moons ago. This would have been near 6 years at least ago. And the boss took us out for lunch. It was a 100-person firm, and it was just super cool. He was only interested in about us. And I felt like I was pitching the whole time about why I'm magnificent, you know, and you felt really valued after it. So yeah, I think it's a good thing, and more people should do it. I don't know if any other companies' cultures do it. As it, obviously, it becomes to a scale where it's like you can't do it anymore. Like if you're in the hundreds of employees, but like if you're only one staff joins every month, then or even every week, you could do it. What else? So I was down in Dublin last night, so I touched on that. I was on the train back up today. I went down to Dublin for Leading Social X Store Heroes Christmas Do, I want to say. I was at the Dion in Dublin, which is a wonderful venue. It hasn't fully opened, so that was like their first night, but it wasn't really a first night because it was half a building site, but it was class. It was one of the best takes I've had, and some good chats there. I was sitting beside somebody who works a lot with people in China, so I learned a lot about that. It was very interesting because obviously we got the claw machines now out of China, and I think I really want to like investigate what else is possible out of China, because it is just a super country, a super manufacturing power. And then I was talking to the Leading Social boys, and that was interesting, just hearing their thoughts on the sector, people they're working with, what they're seeing. So yeah, it was good. It was a good conversation, and I think it's one of those ones where obviously it's a free dinner. I pay for the hotel, so it does cost a bit of money. I think it was like 200 quid all in for a hotel and trains down, because trains aren't cheap these days. But I think it's worth it because you make those connections and you learn stuff that you didn't know before, and then you can use them again, build your network. Times when you're like desperate, these people can help you out. So yeah, it's good. We are starting on a Spanish store, so Isabel is translating everything there. And we're just going to try and lean on our international speaking team to like do more, because we tried the ads in like Spanish ads in the US because Isabella speaks Spanish, and they did okay. Like they weren't great, they weren't better than English ads, but we were like, we have the ads, why don't we just edit the website and then start selling in Spain itself, because the shipping's not too bad. So that should go live before the weekend, and it'll be interesting to see how it does. If it goes well, then why can't we do more locations and stuff like that and just use this? Because Northern Ireland is a really advantageous place, as it's both in the EU and it's in the UK, so you don't face customs, you know. So why don't we use that to our advantage more and just hire staff who can operate those countries for us? Some other things, I had to sit down with the creative team at the start of the week because I felt we've pivoted into this whitelisting angle, but then I felt when we went into it, we've regressed slightly because the edits and stuff and copywriting wasn't as good as what it had been previously. So now I'm like trying to demand higher. When I saw the stuff last week, I was pretty angry with the quality. I was like, we've gone backwards here, and it was upsetting me. And then it was very easy for me potentially to go in this, Monday meeting, and it was unscheduled one, so I prompted it on them, like very unexpected for them. And it could have been easy for me to go in angry, and that was kind of the way I was thinking over the weekend, like I'm angry about it, And if I went in with that kind of mindset, I don't think they would have been open or receptive to it. So, and this is probably the best use of AI, I get it. I just counseled myself with AI in ways that I could coach them and motivate them. I was able to explain what I was thinking and get them on board. And then we all came out of that meeting really energized, and people were saying to me, yeah, it didn't feel right, and I felt stressed the last couple of weeks the way we were working, but now this is all cleared up. And I felt good out of it, they felt good out of it. So now there's more realignment on what exactly we're trying to achieve. I could have gone into that meeting and been like, this is shit, this is bad, this is, but I knew myself I couldn't do that because of books I've read and stuff like that. I had to be engaging and kind of positive with it and trying to prompt them to buy into it. And because I did that, everyone feels much better than me just flying off the handlebar and everyone feeling like shit, including myself. And then finally today, I went and visited Glentoran. So we're basically trying to close out a couple of football clubs to get them into a retail store if we want to do that next year. I am looking at engaging an estate agent on our behalf because I've given up on the property pal and trying to guess and figure out, and I need somebody's expertise to guide me. So I've engaged an estate agent to represent me on our business. So it's very good. He did the building of where we're in right now. And the fees aren't awful. The fees are like 7% of what you negotiate on the first year lease. So, I mean, if they negotiate a good lease, then they pay for themselves. He is working on that, and hopefully we can find some place. At the minute, the store we're looking at are pressing us hard for a decision, which is getting a bit nervy. I need to figure out what rough fit out costs are going to be, but I think we could make it work. I would love to get in time for like the World Cup. That's my goal. And then we can have the experiences for the World Cup and stuff like that, which would be really cool. Black Friday, record day. So really strong Friday, Saturday. Saturday was not as good for us. Like I was looking in previous years and Saturday was always as strong as Friday and the spend was roughly the same. So like we kept our levels the same on Saturday, and then I looked halfway into Saturday and sales were shit in the bed, so I had to cut budgets seriously. And I was visiting my girlfriend's in-laws at the time, so that was like a bit of a stressful moment. I cut the budget then. Saturday was still bad. Sunday was good. Monday really good. Tuesday really good. Wednesday was good. So Thursday as well, when our sale went live to the public, was really good. So we had like 5 out of 6 days were really, really good. One day was bad. Swings and roundabouts. I don't know why Saturday was bad. I was trying to figure this out, but I think it's maybe just suppressed consumer sentiment this year. Like this is in the UK and Ireland. It was bad. In the US, it was fine. I think it's probably suppressed from bad budget and bad politics, essentially. Like we're seeing that across the stores in the market. They're all like, people are saying they're a couple of percent down on last year, and everyone's saying that, So I believe that's just people are spending less because they have less money, which is sad. Everything comes in roundabouts, doesn't it? So, but yeah, appreciate all the support, guys. Episode 16 done. I'll be back next week and I'll probably give an in depth analysis of Black Friday and how we've done. Thank you.